live from Detroit, Michigan. It is the Honestly Sis Podcast.
Drew Prince Music. Drew Prince Music.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Honestly Sis Podcast. I am your host, Honest Am, and this week, we're going to have a pretty special episode. This will be our first Activation 101 episode, and the flow of the episode will go as follows. I will do a quick introduction. I will give you the quote of the week, and then we will move into our activation section where we will do a prayer, some deep breathing, channeling, and then I will pull a tarot card, which I just realized I don't have them, so I'll have to go grab them. Next up, we're going to have a deep dive where I will pull a tool, and if you want to get some more insight of that tool, and if you want to get some more insight to that tool, you will have to go check out our Patreon page. For only $5, you can become the alchemist of your life at www.patreon.com/honestlysis.com. And so if you want that information, go ahead and twiggle on over there. After that deep dive, we'll wrap it on up with the conclusion, questions to consider, summary, and some homework. If that sounds good for you, stay tuned.
Drew Prince Music.
So who am I? I am Honest Am. I am a third generational healer. Who am I? I am Honest Am. I am a third generational healer who has the ability to divine and channel information using tarot and other devices. I am an artist. I am a writer. I'm working on my very first supernatural thriller. And the purpose of these episodes is to channel guidance and insight to help us to become the alchemists on our life. My life mission is to help bring heaven on earth and return us to our rightful place of light. This week's quote is going to be, "We don't have anything to be ashamed of. All you have to do is trust God and launch out into the deep. You can pray until you faint, but if you don't get up and try to do something, God is not going to put it in your life." I'm going to say that one more time. We don't have anything to be ashamed of. All you have to do is trust God and launch out into the deep. You can pray until you faint, but if you don't get up and try something, God is not going to put it in your life. And that is from Fannie Lou Hamer. I think that's such a great quote for us this week. And it also is also what I'm doing. The whole purpose of this podcast is because I received at this point now several readings where God was asking me to do the podcast. Anything that I do not do it lightly. I ask for permission, I ask for clarification. I do not just jump into the space because I can. I've asked and I am wanted here and I am required to be here. A while ago, I started my YouTube channel and I did a series called How to Become the Alchemist of Your Life, 12 Steps on How to Become the Alchemist of Your Life. You can go to my YouTube channel, honestlysis.com. Well, Honestly Sis is the page. On the page, I have over 100 plus videos, plus I completed that entire series. After I completed that series, God asked me to do another series. And I'm not going to tell you exactly what my homework assignment was, but this part of the podcast is a part of me finishing up my homework assignment. And so if you get nothing from me, know that working with the divine, working with God, working with the universe, whatever words you want to call it, they are not the author of confusion. They are very clear. They give you very precise information and they'll tell you do it for this many times. Like God, when you start working with God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, like he is very, very clear about what he wants you to do. And so this podcast is a part of that. So now we're going to go ahead and get into our activation stations.
Drew Prince music.
So activation section, what this activation means, it is to set up or formally institute a group with the necessary personnel or equipment. So the purpose of me doing these channelings is to give you the guidance and insight you need to become the alchemist of your life. And so I want you to go ahead, take a deep breath no matter where you are. Let's do a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth with a sigh. Let's do it one more time. Did I tell you guys I'm a yogi? Deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth with a sigh. One last time, a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. If you can, maybe plant your feet on the ground. If you're not able to, just go ahead and put one hand on your heart and hand on your belly. Feel the rise and fall of your own breath. Feel yourself coming into this. Whatever has passed, whatever has happened, it doesn't matter. Be here. I'm going to go ahead and just get two or three channel messages. These are my angel cards. And just see what we need to know. 2 to 3 messages. What do you need to know, your guardian angels and ancestors, to help bring heaven on earth as we come to our alchemist of our lives? Just give us the message, allow room for dark confusion, immediate or viewers. We're listening. All right, we got 3 messages. I'm going to leave it right there. One of the messages that was peeking up at me was a card of depth. And so this week, you may have to go into the depth of your emotions. Don't be afraid to go into your emotions. If you need to, watch Inside Out. Inside Out lets us know that every emotion that we have, it has a reason, it has a function, and our only job is to listen to it and allow ourselves to go through it. So this week, don't be afraid to go into your emotions. That's a bonus message. But this week's message that we're going to focus on is resilience. I'm going to show you resilience. So, I'm not making this up. Resilience. We got purpose. And then we got abundance. If I wanted to do this, I would look at this as a past, present, future spread. And right now it's telling me in the past, you may have been, just seeing your resilience. I think maybe you may have been doing some review, seeing how you were able to bounce back from situations. And if you haven't done this, then maybe our God, guardian angels, and ancestors are asking for us to reflect on our past, to look over all of those times where we overcome difficult situations. I don't know about you, but there has been several times in my life where I'm just like, this is just life can't get any like this is the worst thing that ever happened. Like this is always going to be this way. And guess what? It was not that way. We have to realize that a big portion, the whole purpose about life is like it's this big experiment. It's for us to learn, it's for us to grow, it's for us to see our strength. And so when you come across obstacles or roadblocks of any kind, it's not like God saying that you're not worthy of having what you want. It's just like maybe when an obstacle comes up, it's just ask you like how bad do you want it? Also, I want to just clarify, let me park on the side and let you guys know I do use God and cusses in the same sentence. God knows my heart. God knows who he has asked. God knows who he has called to this position. I'm going to be who I'm going to be, and I'm going to say these messages how I'm going to say it. So you have that there. Okay, so in the past position, we have our resilience. I do feel like God is asking you, if you haven't already done this practice of reflecting on your past, then take some time to reflect on your past and look and see like how resilient you have become. Because the reason why God wants you to do this is because for some of you guys, God is asking you guys to really, really start working towards your purpose. Like he's not asking you to think about it. If you see this card, there's literally an angel hiking up a mountain. So it's like the angel is doing the action of trying to realize this purpose. And I feel like that's what God is asking for you to do. It's just like our quote said, like you can pray, you can, ask God all you want, but until you actually work towards it, actually try to manifest it, then it cannot happen. I want you guys to understand. Matter of fact, I thought I had put a pen down, but maybe not. I want you guys to understand that this thing called life, because we are in this because we are in this illusion called life, it's this thing called free will. And God cannot give us anything if we are not willing to work towards it. And so in our deep dive section, I will go ahead and break down free will and why it's so important for you to understand that concept and understand why you have to do your part in order for the universe to do their part. Last but not least, what came out is abundance. And I think the reason, if you think about this resilient purpose, abundance, I feel like what God is saying is that if you could look at your past and see how you were able to accomplish things that you didn't even want. I'm thinking about my own life right now. I'm thinking about how I was able to, go to Hampton University and get my degree. I started off as an accounting major, and after getting an internship at a big four accounting firm, I realized I needed to have 150 credit hours. And so I transferred into a 5-year MBA program because it would ensure that I have that 150 credit hours in order to graduate and to get the full-time job at this public accounting firm. Fourth year, I realized that I really didn't want to do this, but I also felt like I was too far along. So I just kept going. And I remember when I was about to start my 5th year, my accounts, the program lead set me down and was like, hey, look, because you transferred into this program, you actually need to stay an extra year. So my 5-year program would have turned into 6, which is the standard time for a graduate program, a graduate degree. And so I was just like, I'm not like, I'm not staying the extra year. Like my friends are already gone this year. Like I barely wanted to stay this year. I'm in a 5-year program. I'm graduating in 5 years. And so that 5th year I ended up taking, which was not recommended, over 21 credit hours. That was like the hardest year of my life, but I was able to accomplish it. I was able to graduate with a offer from a big four accounting firm. And I remember there was this recruiter from another big four accounting firm was like, well, that would never happen for you because your GPA was too low. And I was able to sit at that meeting and was like, I will be working at. So say that story to say that if I was able to do all of that for something I did not want, because remember I said that we were, the beauty of being a part of the Hampton University 5-year MBA program is that every other week we would have companies come in, and it felt like that year, my senior year, we kept having women coming in from these big four accounting firms, and they would brag about how they were missing their daughter's recitals and how they had to work all these hours. And I just realized like I didn't want to do it. But because I was so far along that track, I didn't have the confidence to be like, well, I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go towards my purpose. And I still end up accomplishing that goal, even though it wasn't something I wanted. And so I tell you that story because if I could be resilient and if I can bounce back and if I can take 21 credit hours when I wasn't supposed to for something I didn't want, then then I'm damn sure that doesn't say why can't I use that same energy, that same focus towards things that I do want. And so that's why I worked on my book for the last 10 years. That's why I've been working on this Honestly Sis newsletter. That's why I'm turning this newsletter into a podcast, because I am so focused on my purpose. I'm so focused on following my heart. I'm now God is calling me to embody this person that I want to be, and I know that the abundance is going to come. And I think that's what God wants us to understand, that if we just have that mindset. Matter of fact, I'll talk about it in a deep dive about the drive-through concept. But it's like if we just have that mindset that the minute that an idea come in our mind, it is like the universe giving us the green light that it's possible. And our job, our purpose is to not stop until we get there. But if you get into a rough part of the mountain or if you can't overcome it, it's not saying that it's not meant for you, but maybe you need to, go back another way, do another route. It's like you have to ask yourself how important your purpose is for you. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to overcome it? If you are willing to do whatever it takes to see your vision to light, if you're willing to pivot, willing to do different things, then abundance is guaranteed towards you. Okay? Okay? Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move into the tarot portion of this reading. So, dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, we come to you as humbly as we know how to say thank you. Now, dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, we ask that you clarify this message of resilience, purpose, and abundance. Why is it so important for us to understand that we need to be resilient? Okay, the card popped out while working towards our goals in order to get abundance. The card that popped out is the Page of Cups, and right away I can tell you the reason why we need to be resilient, why we need to have a resilient mindset, is because it's going to show us our power. Y'all, when I was about to start this podcast, I literally was, if you listen to the first episode, I reached out to people on Twitter. I reached out to old coworkers. I reached out to my ex-boyfriend. Like, I really thought that I needed somebody else to help me bring this dream to life. And then it really was as simple as buying a mic, getting Riverside FM, and like I'm making it happen. I'm seeing my power. I'm seeing that it's not as hard as I was making it. But it's our job to not allow the wave of our emotions to overcome us. We have to be resilient in that way. We have to be resilient when we have those moments or when we're doubting ourselves, to be like, okay, this is just a moment. This is just a moment in time. I'm not going to always feel this way. I can overcome it. And so the purpose of us realizing our dream is for us to see our power. If you keep working towards it, then abundance will definitely come to you. Underneath this, looking up at me, is the High Priestess. And so I feel like for some of you guys, you're not trusting your intuition. You're not trusting that the information, the visions that you're seeing, the things that you're feeling it for a reason. You're feeling it because God is trying to show you that your dreams can be realized, that you can have a different life than what you've had today. If you think about the alchemist story, right? The shepherd. This story, it all began because he kept having that dream, right? He had that dream over and over. And then eventually he went to a fortune teller, and the fortune teller told him that the reason why he had this dream is because there's a treasure out there for him. And so he started on this whole journey just because he had a dream. Take that to you, right? You have an idea, you have a dream. I am your tarot reader telling you that it is possible. Now it is your job to trust the feelings, trust the instincts that you're going through to bring this dream to life. Go ahead and finish this on up. I I absolutely love this reading. So for resilience, we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, as you can see, is a woman. She is literally sitting right by a river of water. Symbolizes our emotions and our heart desires. And so this card, you see that this woman is like really staring at this cup. And to me, when I see this card, it makes me think about you kind of reflecting on your life, reflecting on everything that you've had. And like maybe for some of you guys, you're looking at your life, you're looking at everything you've been through, and you're like, damn, like I've overcome so much, but I haven't got the big thing, like it's like because it's the queen. I mean, the queen is high, but it's like it ain't the king. So it's like there is one more step to go. And maybe that one more step is the embodiment. It is believing that you can actually do this. Maybe it's the mindset that's missing. I always say on my YouTube channels that if you ever want to manifest anything, you must have your words, thoughts, and deeds all in alignment. And so I feel like right now, for some of you guys, the lack of doing is like stopping you from even getting on that path. But what God is trying to show you is that you are a queen. Like you've already overcome so much. And so if you can overcome all the things you don't want, why can't you trust God to, work towards the things you do want? For purpose, what came out is the Two of Cups. And also think about all of these cups. This is a heavy cup reading. And so it's like for some of you guys, you really, really, really want to realize your dreams. You really want to do this, but something is blocking you. And maybe it's the emotion. Maybe it's the lack of you trusting your intuition, the lack of believing that you are the Queen of Wands and you can make this happen. All of this energy is up under this. This is literally telling me that if you trust your intuition, you will literally be able to create your own kingdom. This cat right here symbolizes superstition. Queen of Wands, the wands is a passion. It's like you used your passion. God gave you that. You started from the one wand and then you worked your way on up. So that's why God is saying, listen, if you just trust yourself, if you trust what you're doing, then you will become the Queen of Wands and you won't no longer feel like you're out in the cold. You will no longer feel like you're struggling to give people information. Like what you need to do is trust yourself. Going back to this Two of Cups, this Two of Cups, a lot of people look at the Two of Cups and they say it symbolizes, you coming into communion with somebody. I don't think it's that. I always look at the Two of Cups and I try to make it more of a personalized thing. And I look at this as your masculine side and your feminine side. And I think when it comes to your purpose, we have to realize that we have to use both of those things. Our masculine is our energy. It's our actually working towards it. It's the action part of it, right? Whereas our feminine side is like the intuition and like trusting it. And so God is saying your purpose on life is to use both of those sides. You can't be so do that you're not listening to those silent things, and you can't be so listening to the silent and listening, trusting the universe that you're not actually working towards it. And so God is saying the purpose is to bring both of those things together. Also, reflecting back on the past, I think God wants you to realize that the purpose of your past was for you to see how resilient you are, how strong you are, how much you have overcome. And until you recognize that you are the Queen of Cups, that you have overcome a lot, that you have, accomplished something, you're always going to be out of balance. You're always going to feel like, well, why isn't this happening? I got to learn something else. And it's like, no, you don't have to learn anything else. You don't have to, heal anything else. You just need to bring both of these sides together, trust yourself, and just do it. I do feel like these messages, this second half, because I'm in this part of my life, I feel like God, the universe, all of it is calling for us to actually embody the life that we're trying to lead. And you can't embody it if like you're doubting your intuition, if you're doubting the action that you're taking, it's taking you out of alignment. You have to bring them in balance and let them marry each other so that you can realize your dreams or your purpose. For abundance, what came up is the Eight of Cups. Some of you guys, remember, you are the Queen of Wands, but for some of you guys, you need to look at what you have been putting your energy into. And for some of you guys, you've been putting your energy into things that are not feeding you. And all right. So if you want to get those tools, the tools that I'm going to be going over in our Patreon is I cannot tell stories of shortages and experience abundance. There are no shortages of time or money, and I am developing a skill to direct my thoughts, along with I am the creator of my life experience. So if you're interested in learning more about that or learning more about becoming an alchemist of your life, please check out www.patreon.com/honestly sis. For everyone else, I will see you next week for a brand new letter. We are diving into Honest Wednesdays. I am so excited to do this. 2 in the books. Let's go. Let's get the rest. All right, guys. Until we meet again. Oh, God. No, not that. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do.
Drew Prince Music.
Our beautiful theme music is from True Prince himself. Thank you so much for these groovy tweets. This episode was written, channeled, and produced. This episode was written, channeled, and produced by Honest M and my spirit team. Shout out to you. Remember, Honestly Sis is an independently owned and operated company. If you wish to donate or to support, please make sure you check out www.honestlysis.com. Stay safe out there, people.
Drew Prince Music.
All right. And so this reading is coming about to ask yourself, angel number 25, am I actually doing what I want to do? Am I becoming who I want to be in this world? Or am I just coasting along? I want you to realize that at any given time, you can change your life, but it all becomes about by you trusting yourself. And so this week, something may come up that makes you realize that you can no longer pour energy into something that isn't feeding you. I think reciprocity is going to be very important moving forward. And so to summarize, this reading is all about, reflecting on the past, seeing how much you have overcome, not, ruminating on the past or trying to figure out who was at odds, but really just seeing your strength, seeing how much you have overcome. If you can see how much you have overcome, I want you to leave the past behind and just move on to your new reality so that you can see your power and become the high priestess of your life. All right. That is our reading for this week. All right, so now we have made it to the tool portion of our reading. Your dreams can become a reality if you simply believe. God, what is a tool that we can use, allowing no room for doubt or confusion in the viewer's mind? What is a tool that we can use? One card popped out. Shortages of time or money are perpetual. And I can't tell stories of shortages and experience abundance. Again, this goes back to that Two of Cup cards. Some of you guys, you want to have this happy ending. You want to live out your dreams, but it's something within you that's blocking you. It's something that's like stopping you from realizing your power. For some reason, I think it's trusting your intuition. For some of you guys, you don't trust your intuition. So that may be your homework for this week. Trust your intuition. Yeah, that's your homework. That is your homework. Trust your intuition. So now we're going to move on to our deep dive. So this week, deep dive, I want to deal into the topics of free will and the drive-through method. And so free will is, as you guys know, we are on earth, and free will pretty much means that God or the universe, the spirit world cannot do anything without us first telling them that they can help us. We have to ask them for permission, or we have to grant them permission. That's why, I mean, it goes back to like that vampire theory. The vampire can't come into your house unless you invite them in, all of that good stuff. And so the purpose of free will and what we have to understand is that, you know, the spirit world is not powerful without us, and we are not powerful without the spirit team. It's going back to this Two of Cups concept. Like, the whole purpose of procreation is for us to work with the spirit world hand in hand. And so, with the purpose of free will and how you utilize free will, it means that, you know, your guardian angels, ancestors, beings of light, they want to help you, but they cannot help you until you ask for help. And sometimes you may ask for it out of your mouth, but then your thoughts may be thinking differently. And so it's like, that's why it's so important for you to ask for it and then work towards it. When you work towards it, the universe acknowledge that energy, that effort, that intention towards it, and then your spirit teams know that you are serious, and then they're going to help you go through it. They're going to help you with the process. But it's always like you have to take the first step before spirit helps you along. Last concept that I want to tell you guys about is the drive-through method. This is something I picked up on TikTok. I can't remember, you know how TikTok is. I can't remember the person's name, but it was a very good concept that I have been like reminding myself. And I want you just to picture yourself in a drive-through. When you pull up at the drive-through, no matter how long or short the line is, you place your order at the box, right? When you first get to the window, I mean, when you're about to place your order, they'll tell you, we don't got chicken, we don't got this, we got that, whatever. You still place your order, right? And when you get into the drive-through, is there any time or any doubt that you're not going to get your food? No, it don't matter how long it takes. You know that you're going to leave that drive-through with your food. We have to have that same mindset when it comes to the universe. No matter how long it takes, I'm going to get what I want. That's the whole purpose of the journey. I think the purpose is for you to realize that you're always literally you're it's like a cheat code. Like, you're always made to win. And if you're not winning, then maybe it's not time for it, or maybe there's an internal block. Maybe there's something you don't believe that is true. So I want you to start, you know, this week, whenever you ask for something from the universe and it's not coming up in your life, I want you to, instead of doubting or beating yourself up or saying, I'm not worthy, I want you to ask, okay, so what if it's just taking a little bit longer? What can I do in the meantime while the universe is working on my order, right? Drive-through method. Always know that whatever you want is coming to you. If you don't have it, it's either because it's not in alignment or it's not time. It's not because you're not a bad person. It's not because of your past. Like, we have to let all of that go. That's what the Eight of Cups symbolizes. You have to release the past in order to get something new. We have made it to the end of this episode, and to just summarize, this week was all about us reflecting on our past, seeing how resilient we have been, and knowing that if we can overcome those things in our past, then we can definitely work towards a new reality by trusting our intuition, by releasing the baggage of our past, and by knowing that there is no shortages or time or money. Some questions to consider this week is, what is my attitude towards delays? How do I work with my spirit team? Do I believe I can have what I want? Do I truly believe that I can have what I want? Homework for this week. Practice the drive-through method. Work towards one thing and allow the universe to do the rest. Ask the universe for something. You can start small. I started with a stick of gum, and I have like a lifetime supply of gum. Ask the universe for something this week. Don't think about it. Let's see how it comes in your life. We're going to become the Page of Cups and try to realize our power. All right, guys, we have made it to the end, and that is it. That is our homework. We have made it to the end.